Why doesn't my logo roll off like a tire anymore? Someone's got to fix my logo so it rolls off like a tire. My logo hasn't gotten fixed yet. Hello again, everyone. Happy September. Okay, fine, whatever. And welcome to False Gun Anywhere on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Erik Dunn here from Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Hope everyone is doing great. Hope everyone had a nice Labor Day weekend. A little bit of a long weekend for everybody as schools officially started for everybody around the area now. Um, and WWE this month begins a new era. They begin a 5 year, $1.8 billion deal with ESPN to have every PLE on their platform. More like a new era, actually. Yeah, not ERA, it's ERROR. That's one way to look at it. But for the last one on Peacock, Clash in Paris from Sunday, kind of in the middle. I think that the event wasn't horrible, but it could have been a little bit better. It wasn't great, but it was good. And some of the outcomes, I was a little bit disappointed. Okay, screw it. I was more than a little bit disappointed. Fine. But as we now have approached a new month, I want to give you guys a couple of some updates too, personally, but I'll give you those at the end. Um, because we're going to get through Clash in Paris. I want to recap SmackDown, the 48 hours before Clash in Paris, which had a very significant change in WWE, Raw Monday night. Um, and then mark this on your calendar. 2 weeks from tonight, WrestlePalooza preview. The card will be set, and I will have it ready to go for what you need to be expecting for the first ESPN PLE for WWE when they go to Indianapolis. So, with that being said, this broadcast of FCA is the exclusive property of Erik Dunn Productions, Rodrigo, and Rhode Island Broadcasting for the use of our audience in any publication, reuse, or redistribution by anyone is not prohibited and is given the express consent to be shared everywhere and is greatly appreciated. Sorry, stiff chest. So, let me backtrack to the one event that happened on SmackDown 48 hours before Clash in Paris. Sami Zayn is the new United States champion. I couldn't be any happier for Sami. I mean, I really did think that, you know, that maybe in a way Solo was going to be champion for a little bit longer, but I was stoked. Sami now United States champion. Let's see what he does. Let's actually see the push he gets, the reign he has, and what he does with it. Because it seemed to me that his Intercontinental title reign from a year ago when he beat Gunther at WrestleMania 40, it didn't last that long. If I actually looked it up, I think it lasted very short. Yeah, I think Sammy's runs were very short. Um, yeah, Sammy's run as the Intercontinental Champion, that didn't last that long, I don't think. Well, actually, no, it did. Sami held it on for 100 and yeah, Sami had it for 118 days, and then he lost that SummerSlam to Braun Breaker. It was one of the most special title runs of his career, partly for personal reasons. So Sami Zayn, as of right now, updated with him. He is. If I can find his championships currently right now in WWE here. He is now a four-time Intercontinental Champion, and he is now, for the first time in his career, the United States Champion. And that is well deserved, in my opinion. I mean, if you think about Sami's career, you know, his total career now has spanned about 23 years, but he's only been in WWE for, sorry, I'm trying to say how long he's been there. Yeah, in WWE, he's only been there for about just under 12, I want to say. Yeah, just under 12 years. But the cool thing about Sami for me is that, he's getting an opportunity to really be him. And, I questioned Sami's personality and his character um, in the past, but I was pretty happy with the way that things went with that. I mean, granted, his Intercontinental title run lasted 4 months last year, but I mean, Sami is one of the most energetic and intriguing characters in WWE still right now. And I want this run of his to actually last more than 4 months. Like, if anything, I want him to take this run into the Rumble next year. I mean, if anyone deserves a push, it's him. My only question is, will he be World Heavyweight Champion at some point? I think it will happen, but I think it remains to be seen exactly when that push is going to be. I see Sami having this title for the rest of the year this year. The question is, are they going to take the ball and run with it? Because his IC title run lasted 118 days. That's the equivalent of almost 4 months. Let's see how this goes. So, that was the major thing about SmackDown that I saw, and that was great. Other than the fact, too, that my favorite part of that was John Cena verbally just eviscerating Logan Paul and making him look like a cheap bitch. John absolutely murdered his ass on that microphone. Go back and listen to that promo. That was about a good 20 minutes that started SmackDown. It was awesome. The way John was able to just put the crowd in there with him and really call out Logan on his insecurities about the business. I think Clash in Paris on Sunday really confirmed that as talented as Logan Paul is, he will never, ever be a true world champion in WWE. Because as far as I'm concerned, here's how I feel about that, okay? And this is going to lead to me going into Clash in Paris right now. Logan Paul, as far as I'm concerned, took a match away during John Cena's retirement tour that he never deserved in the first place. Rod and I were speaking about that off camera after last week's broadcast ended. Logan Paul did not deserve to be a part of his retirement tour at all. There were names more worthy than him of being in that run. How about this? How about this one? The phenomenal AJ Styles, who arguably will be in the WWE Hall of Fame, or should I say, is one of the best in the history of this business. If there was a pro wrestling Hall of Fame combining all of the wrestling companies currently in the world right now, WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, if you look at the career of AJ Styles, he is legendary status in this business. His career in TNA alone was a Hall of Fame career. And then from Ring of Honor to WWE, what he did in WWE was just as much as an Impact. But I really believed that we were going to see Cena versus Styles one more time, and unfortunately, at the post show, John did confirm that that's not going to happen. And you want to know who's to blame? Logan Paul. You want to blame somebody for not having John? You want to blame somebody for not having John and AJ one more time? Blame Logan Paul. He's a spotlight stealer. He's an attention seeker, and he's an absolute bum. AJ Styles is not a bum. That guy is actually talented, can take a hit, can get up, and come back stronger. AJ Styles is a legend in this industry. Logan Paul will never reach that status because he used his money to get into WWE. AJ got into WWE by sheer talent and grit and heart. Logan Paul used WWE as a branding opportunity to buy another Pokemon card, to quote John Cena's promo. Tell me I'm wrong. Regardless of him doing good work as a heel, Logan Paul, here's the truth. I guess as a heel, he's doing a fine job, but Logan Paul is a complete asshole. He really is. And that's the bottom line about that. And that's exactly what I'm going to lead off with right now, with Clash in Paris. So, Ron, have your predictions ready, and let's just clarify these so we have the records. Please pull up the numbers when you can. Clash in Paris, we only gave 5 matches to go over. Ron's got about a 2-point advantage on me right now. So let's go in order, shall we? From top to bottom. This one, I believe Ron and you and I both got right. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, defeated the so-called tribal thief, Bronson Reed. I believe we both picked Roman. Okay, so that's a win for us. Paris loved him too. I mean, Paris and Roman have a good relationship, and that's the funny thing about the international crowds for WWE, those fan bases. France is like a really good country for WWE because they sing along with certain songs of people that they love. Like, it's a great, energized crowd. And I wonder what else they could do over there because that's a good crowd. Reigns got payback on Heyman too, and that was cool. But however, he also then got attacked by Braun Breaker and Reed in a hellacious beatdown that saw Jey Uso get taken out with a rib-cracking spear, and Roman got taken out on a stretcher, I believe. Now, here's the thing, Ron, this match we didn't have on the card, so we can't really talk about that. The Y6 retained their tag team titles over the Street Profits. That match was added on SmackDown 48 hours prior to that, so we can't really talk about that. So that doesn't even matter. So this one, I believe we're 2-0 with, right? Becky Lynch retained the women's Intercontinental title over Nikki Bella. I believe you and I picked Becky, logically. Ron and I are both 2-0. Now, Nikki gave her a great test. Bella countered with her fearless lock. And in my opinion, I think that's her modified version of John Cena's STF, if you go back and watch that again. Bella stunned Becky with a manhandle slam, but Lynch countered into a disarmer and trapped the challenger in a backslide cover to win. It was still a great match, but I don't know, maybe that match could have been a little bit longer. Good old-fashioned Donnybrook, Sheamus versus Rusev. I believe you picked Rusev and I picked Sheamus, so I think I lost that one, right? I believe you picked Rusev. Really? You and I both picked Sheamus? I could have sworn you picked Rusev. Are you 100% on that? You did not pick Rusev. Okay. So that makes us 2-1. They beat the hell out of each other too this match. I mean, that was just a good old fashioned just beat the hell out of each other with no rules. That was a good match, I will say. But Sheamus being forced to tap out, I didn't like the ending of that. I would have thought that it would have been a pinfall. So sadly, that didn't really go out that well. But Ron, I think I got you on this one. I know for a fact you did not pick Cena to win. You picked Logan. I picked John. Accurate? That makes me 3-1. You're now 2-2. John's last match in Europe was a memorable one for sure. So the demonstrator Paul was determined to ruin the end of Cena's European farewell tour, mocking him with a bevy of holes and disrespectful pin covers. But here's the cool thing about John in this match. He did moves that you would never expect him to really do. John hit him with a thunderous AA after all that mocking. Um, but however, even though Logan Paul, he was resilient, he got increasingly frustrated and distracted by the WWE Universe the longer the match continued. Um, he busted his opponent open and countered a disrespectful attempt at a five knuckle shuffle into another AA, but it wasn't enough to win the match. Cena then turned back the clock and hit a Hurricane Rana, a Code Red, and a Styles Clash, but that wasn't enough. And then John hit him with a trio of AAs to win and send the WWE Universe in Paris in a huge frenzy. Did you guys hear how loud the "You Can't See Me" was on the five knuckle shuffle? That had to be one of the most loudest crowd in unison taunts I've ever heard from any crowd of any show in WWE. That was bone chilling. Go back and find that. Bone chilling. And you know what? I'll give him credit. John put up an amazing match, beyond a doubt. But I'm sorry. If that was against AJ, that would have been the main event. Because that would have been John versus AJ one last time. That would have been the main event of Clash in Paris. AJ wasn't even on the freaking card. And that's downright degrading. I'm glad that John won, but Logan Paul should not have been the one to have faced him in this match. I'll say it before. I said it before. I'll say it again. Logan Paul stole a match away from John's retirement tour that could have gone to AJ, Dominic Mysterio, Seth Rollins, somebody that is far more hungry in this industry than he is, that doesn't focus on money, doesn't focus on politics, doesn't focus on being a branding ambassador for the company, and does it because they love the industry of wrestling. Logan Paul is a mark, just like his brother, because they both got into it doing Vine videos and Twitch videos and made their money on being an internet megastar instead of actually busting their ass and actually doing something right. Just like Jake Paul used boxing to try to humiliate Iron Mike Tyson, Logan Paul tried to use WWE to embarrass John Cena. And guess what? Didn't work. To be honest with you, Ron, I get your point about having a heel win, but I'll tell you right now, John losing to Paul would have been the worst thing to have happened to WWE for the rest of the year. You want to know what an absolute dumpster fire it would have been for this company? have John lose to him. Thank God he did not lose. Whoever wasn't creative and made sure that John won, that was the right move, beyond a doubt. The sad part is John's got 3 matches left. We are down to the final back end. We're on the back end of this year. John's got 3.5 months left. All I can say, folks, is just enjoy the ride while you can. Because all we're going to have left is just the memories that I hope they do. And I hope they make like a big ass career montage of like all the title wins, the comeback wins, I think that'd be cool. We'll see. And then the main event was a fatal four-way for the World Heavyweight Championship. And as much as I did not want to pick him, Ron and I had a conversation about this. Sometimes when you look at a match like this, you've got to look at the obvious. Who has the most to lose? Who has the most to lose if they don't retain the title? Or who has the most to lose if they lose it? And unfortunately, Seth Rollins had a lot more to lose than to gain if he lost it. So, Ron, I believe you and I picked Seth. He did retain. You and I picked Seth? All right. So if you look at the updated standings, I am now only a point behind Ron. I gained a point up in this PLE. I finished 4-1. Ron finished 3-2. He and I both got Sheamus wrong, but he got John Cena wrong. So I now have a point up on him. So I'm only a point behind. I'm getting closer. So with that being said, here's how the way the Fatal 4-Way ended. And I couldn't believe this either. Becky Lynch is the fourth member of the Vision. A furious Seth stomped out LA Knight and Uso to leave him and Punk all alone, but a GTS from Punk had the champion down and out. Suddenly, a masked figure appeared and low-blowed him and revealed to be none other than Becky Lynch. Rollins used the shocking moment to stomp Punk onto a steel chair to retain his title. That will now lead to what happened on Raw Monday night. Jey Uso and LA Knight accepted the tag team challenge from the Vision's Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker following Clash in Paris. Dominic Mysterio retained the Intercontinental title against AJ Styles. Becky Lynch delivered multiple slaps to CM Punk, and Punk informed him that Seth will regret catching on him and that the man will 100% regret ever putting her hands on him. And then the ending was this. Although Jay gained the advantage on Bronson Reed with a spear and Uso splash combination, Breaker fired back with a spear of his own to win. After the bell, Reed and Breaker neutralized LA Knight before initiating a vicious post-match attack on Jay, presumably in order to put him in the hospital alongside Roman Reigns. Before the job could be finished, Jimmy Uso charged to the ring with a steel chair as Raw went off the air. I don't know when we'll see Roman again. Hopefully soon. But how much you're betting that AJ comes back to WWE because of this? I don't know. But I still believe that Punk is going to be World Heavyweight Champion again. But in order for him to do that, Reed, Breaker, Heyman, and now Becky Lynch all have to be eliminated from the equation in order for him to win cleanly one-on-one against Seth. So keep that in mind. Next week's broadcast, guys. If there's any update about WrestlePalooza, I'll have for you. SmackDown results from this Friday night, Raw results for next Monday night. I'll have it all for you here. Um, with that being said, um, be, before I go, I want to give you guys just a couple quick updates personally that I've been wanting to share, but I've been wanting to wait until I got the word back. But before I do that, however, I'm here every Wednesday at 5 on the following platforms. Um, I believe it is YouTube, Kick, Rumble, at Ryan Broadcasting, and live on Twitch at RI_broadcasting. All those on YouTube, Kick, Rumble, and Twitch. Thank you guys for joining me. And then podcast is up the next day on these platforms: Red Circle, Spotify, TuneIn, and iHeart Podcast at RI Broadcasting. And also, please follow Rhode Island Broadcasting to get more information and updates at these platforms. Um, U42, Space Day, MeWe, TikTok, Parlor, and Patreon at RI Broadcasting. And for those that want to help support us financially and be a part of FCA, Going On Daily Sports Unfolded, and be a supporting financial member, support us at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net so you can find a way to join the family. I've now hit the 2-minute warning. I try to keep my shows no more than 30 minutes so I don't bore you all. A couple personal updates about me right now as I'm getting ready for the fall and the winter time. National anthem progress. Um, I have not heard back yet regarding what will be my date for my second Celtics anthem performance, but I am confirmed to be singing with them during the 25-26 season. I'm just waiting for my date from the office. For those down in the Rhode Island area, I am likely to begin my second winter with the Province Friars. I believe for men's hockey and basketball, and as well as for the women. And then Brown University is going to get me set up with Brown hockey and basketball for this winter. So I'm officially going to be a very happy, humble member of the Brown family this winter time. And I'll keep you guys posted about this one too. The Boston College Eagles. Here's something you guys didn't know about me. Around this time 4 years ago, I was called by them to fill in on a cancellation for BC women's basketball. And just due to unfortunate circumstances and due to the fact that I personally believed in my heart I wasn't ready for that, I turned them down. And obviously, since then, I've done a lot more. And my name has gotten out there better. And I've gotten a lot better. I took a leap of faith to call back the BC office and see if there was any possibility that maybe we could work something out. And my information has gotten over to them. And here's the cool thing. If you guys go on like Safari or Chrome and type in the following, ERIKDUNN National Anthem, there's an entire page that's about me. And if you go into AI mode after typing that in, it's a full breakdown reported description of literally me in my national anthem journey with autism. It's literally one of the most coolest things I've ever seen in my life. Not many people know about it. And the cool thing about that is, I sent that over to the BC's athletics office, and they were happy to take that as my audition tape. I didn't even need to send them anything else. So I really think I have a shot at doing BC Eagles football and maybe perhaps BC Eagles hockey. Those are the two programs that created that school, in my opinion. You know, going back to when Doug Flutie made the Hail Mary pass in '84, back to when they won the Hockey East in 2001, when they won the national title in 2001 for hockey. I mean, BC is a really good hockey program that's had years going into the semifinals, years in the finals. I mean, BC football, BC hockey created that school. I would just be honored to be a part of that and get to grow my resume and my experience and share my story more with people over there. And I think that'd be cool. And who knows? Maybe I'll actually get that chance to do that. But as I mentioned, I'll keep you guys informed of all my updates there. Once I have an announcement for all the dates I'm going to be doing, stay tuned because I'm going to try to do that. Probably once I find that out, I'll probably give you guys those updates probably like at the end of like each month or on the first show of every month if I have anything, just so you guys are able to stay in tune and stay in touch with me. Um, so that being said, thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. I do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys next Wednesday. Um, Go Sox. Let's see how they can keep on progressing. They're only 2.5 back of first place. Go Patriots. The season opener this Sunday in Gillette with the Raiders. Hope y'all enjoy the game, as I hope I will too. On behalf of the man behind the scenes, the creator of RIB Rodrigo, this is Erik Dunn saying so long and thank you from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This has been a presentation of False Count Anywhere on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Happy September. We're almost in fall weather. I cannot wait for a little more colder weather right now. I don't like heat. I don't like humidity. I don't, y'all might need your ACs handy this weekend, so keep that in mind. But happy football season to the Pats. And I think we're going to get playoff baseball at Fenway soon. I can't wait. Guys, I'll talk to you next week. Thank you for watching as well as listening.